Every morning at dawn, when the sun rises over the dunes of the Namib, the desert turns into a unique scenery of shapes and colours. The dune landscape of Sossusvlei is one of the landmarks of Namibia, the land of contrasts in the south of Africa. Namibia holds common borders with Angola, Zambia, Botswana and with the Republic of South Africa. 1.8 million people live here. After a comfortable non-stop flight with Air Namibia, you arrive in the early morning at the Hosea Kutako International Airport of Windhoek. After you've passed passport control and customs, you'll be welcomed by your tour guide. During the drive to your hotel, you'll receive information regarding the country and your holiday. The hotels in Windhoek know what their guests are expecting. The rooms are generously equipped. You might want to take a little rest before leaving the hotel for a first visit to the city centre of Windhoek in the afternoon. Independence Avenue is the main shopping street and the vibrating centre of the Namibian capital. The so-called Tintenpalast is the seat of the Namibian National Assembly and was built in 1913, like the Christuskirche and the less-known Roman Catholic Church. The Alte Veste, the Old Fort, is the actual seat of the Namibian State Museum. The fort was constructed in 1890 by the German Schutztruppe. The fort represents the foundation stone of modern Windhoek, with its historic buildings, modern apartment houses and office buildings. The Supreme Court, recently built, is part of the modern image of Windhoek. Besides visiting coffee shops, bars and restaurants, it's always nice to go shopping in one of the malls of the city. Take your time and have a look at how Namibian handicrafts are made. You're always welcome. The monument of the cavalryman close to the Christuskirche is a great spot to watch the famous African sunsets. And if you like, don't hesitate to throw yourself into the multifaceted nightlife of Windhoek. One of the highlights on weekends is a visit to the warehouse, where you can attend the concerts of Namibian artists. Join us now for a round trip of Namibia, the land of contrasts. We start in Luderitz, a small harbour town in the south of Namibia. The town is named after a tradesman from Bremen, Adolf Luderitz. Luderitz asked the German emperor in 1884 for military aid, which led to the setup of the colony Deutsch Südwestafrika. The historic buildings, which are still in good condition, like the Felsenkirche, were built 20 years later. Today, people in Luderitz live from fishing or diamonds, which were first discovered in 1908. Even today, South African mining companies excavate diamonds under open-cast working conditions. The stones excavated in Namibia are taken to South Africa for further processing. The ghost towns of Kolmanskop and Elizabeth Bay still attract a lot of tourists. The mine in Kolmanskop was closed in 1930. Since then, the desert has steadily moved forward and reconquered the two towns. A day's journey away from Luderitz lies the world's second biggest canyon, the Fish River Canyon. Standing at the central viewpoint, you'll have a magnificent view over the rock formation created by water and wind. The canyon is 161 kilometres long, 27 kilometres wide, and has a depth of 549 metres. If you intend to go hiking in the canyon, you can start the 5-day walk at the public camping area Hobas. The hike is only possible between May and September and requires, apart from being fit, also a medical certificate. The final destination of the hike are the hot springs of Ice. The camping area is easily reached by car and is therefore a favourite holiday destination for many Namibians. The Namib.flv Park is located north of the Fish River Canyon and Luderitz. It covers an area of about 47,000 square kilometres and is the largest national park in the country. The hours of the early morning or early evening are best to get an idea of the outstanding colours and shapes of the landscape. If you're looking for pure luxury, you should stay in one of the 5-star lodges at the edge of the Namib. On a guided game drive, you'll be amazed by the richness of animal species you'll see. A sundowner is a must on Namibian lodges and farms before starting again the next morning for a new day of adventure in Namibia. We continue our trip north to the Spreitshoogte Pass, where you'll have a magnificent view over the Namib.flv Park. Close to the Gamsberg Pass, you'll find one of the numerous gas farms which are all renowned for their pleasant rooms and for the good food that's served there. If you want to travel in Namibia, it doesn't matter if you go by car, bus, train or plane. We'll take the plane now and fly over the Khomas Highland and visit the dunes of Sossusvlei in the Namib.flv Park. The Sesriem Canyon is always worth a visit before continuing the journey to the Atlantic coast. Next stop is Walvis Bay, a small town that lives mainly from fishing. It's Namibia's most important harbour and significant trading post. At the Atlantic coast, salt is farmed from the sea and also exported. More and more tourists come to visit Walvis Bay. In the lagoon, a new hotel resort has recently been set up. The lagoon is home to thousands of flamingos and pelicans. When the sun comes out, it's well worth going on a boat trip to visit the dolphins and seals who live in the waters of the bay. You can also go sailing, a wonderful experience even with grey skies. As a holiday spot, Swakopmund is favoured by tourists. The small town reminds the visitor of its German history, which is also the reason why it's called the most southern North Sea resort in the world. The lighthouse is the famous landmark of the town. Most of the visitors prefer to swim in the hotel pool rather than in the sea, because even in the African summer, the temperature of the water never exceeds 16 degrees centigrade.